and welcome to the end of 2016. It's Hayley Carr here from hayleycarr.tv, and today I'd like to share with you some really beautiful little ritualistic things that you can do at the end of the year, so in the next couple of days, to let go of everything that has occurred this year and start calling in the things that you want to create next year, 2017, or any year in the future. At the end of 2015, I spent New Year's quietly and completely sober and not at any parties by choice. And I sat down and I practiced this ritual for myself. And honestly, it has been one of the most incredible years to date. And so I'd like to share some of my little rituals with you in the hope that you can create an amazing year for yourself next year as well. So as we know, it's really important to let go. And if we don't let go of things, there's no space physically and emotionally for the new and the good to come in. Now, if you think about your physical space, when you have physical things in your space, if you didn't let go of certain things, you would be piling up and piling up and piling up more stuff and unable to bring in new furniture. So it's much like this with our emotions as well. If we don't let go of everything that happened, the good and the bad, there is no more room for things to enter into our lives and manifest as good. And at the very same time, once we've done the letting go side of things, it's really important to remember this too. Oftentimes, goals are not necessarily productive. Sometimes our idea of what needs to happen in the year gets in the way of the magic that we can create in a year without our knowing. Sometimes we think too small. Sometimes in order to have what we ultimately want, we have to go through a certain series of almost like initiations or divine assignments stacked up one after the next so that we can go through them and grow and learn and experience what we need to experience in order to become the type of person who has what we want easily. So the ritual that I want to create with you today is something a little bit different from a goal setting kind of ritual. But first, let's start with letting go. Now, I've become an expert at letting go over the years, just through practice, and it's not always easy, although it can be. Sometimes when you're holding on to something or not accepting of what is in life, it's very hard to let go. And ultimately, letting go, forgiveness, and acceptance are all the same thing. So by acknowledging and letting go the year that was, the good, the bad, and the ugly, we are making space for more beauty, more openness, more joy, more love, more of anything that you want to create. And the reason why I say it's important to let go of the good stuff as well is because, well, there's this saying, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who said it at the moment, so I'm paraphrasing right now, but it goes like this. Success is a rental and the rent is due every damn day. Now, the way I interpret that is that we can't just rest on our laurels and think, oh great, I was successful this year, that means I'm going to be successful forever, or I worked really hard this year, that means I get to sit back and chill out forever if you're not where you want to be. So letting go of the great things that happen also allows more greatness to come in. Okay? And that's why we let go of absolutely everything. We're basically not identifying our own person, our own self, or our own self-worth with the achievements and failures that occurred this year. So here's the first step, and I invite you to do this however you want. You can sit by yourself, you can go somewhere with an incredible view, you can light a candle, you can play some beautiful music, you can get, all loved up with moisturizer and whatever, or you can just sit at your desk and do it. It really doesn't matter. You don't have to be naked. The rituals are beautiful and they're not necessary for you to get the result from this process. So here's my ritual. The first step is in letting go. So what I want you to do is take out a journal, piece of paper, and I want you to write down your year in review. Now, you saw me do this last week. My year in review is posted up on the internet, and you can talk about all the things that happened or some of the major things that happened for you this year and what you learnt from it. So the first step is just go through, write down everything that happened, good, bad, ugly, just events, experiences, things that happened. And then write a second list and ask yourself, what did I learn from this? What are my lessons? Okay. Now, the third step in the letting go process is to say to yourself, okay, what habits, thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, what do I want to actually let go of and forget about from here on in? What mentalities do I want to ditch? Do I want to ditch a lack mentality? Do I want to ditch this feeling of being busy and overwhelmed? Do I want to ditch feeling like I'm not enough? Do I want to ditch overbooking myself? Whatever it might be for you. I want you to just write it down and say, right, that's what I'm letting go of. That's great. Now, once you've done that, you can do something that symbolizes gratitude for the year. So if you want, you can continue writing and say another list, a fourth list, what am I grateful for this year? Or you can just sit for a moment and really feel gratitude as to why you are grateful for the year that was. Now, if you like, you can continue on to the next bit today, or you can stop for today and start again on New Year's Day. I like to do it personally just all at once, and that's what I did this year. I just did it all at once. It was actually over that sort of midnight hour, which was really nice. I could see fireworks from the balcony, and I was just sitting alone with a cup of tea and alone with my thoughts and a fresh journal, so it was really, really cool. So we're moving in now to what you want to create in the new year. And I mentioned at the start of this video that goals are not necessarily the most productive thing because we can get in the way. And A Course in Miracles says, stop praying for what you think you want and start praying for what you need. Now, sometimes things occur for us. Universe is always on our side. It's not always on our time. Sometimes there needs to be things that occur, situations, opportunities, people that we meet, or perhaps a lapse in time that needs to occur in order for what you want or what you think you want to occur in a way that is good for all. So what we're doing in this moment right here is just completely letting go of goals for a second, and we're going to get connected back to your heart, back to your intuition, and just free writing and going bigger than what you possibly thought you could had you just written out some goals for this year. So I want you to dream big. Something that I ask my clients all the time is, why do you want that? Why do you want that? And why do you want that? And how will that make you feel? And this is something that you might want to consider for this next bit, is writing out how you want to feel over the next year. This might inspire you to put yourself in situations and develop ways of being and start showing up and ritualizing how you want to feel through the choices that you make every single day. The other thing I like to ask them is, if you were thinking really, really big, if you could have anything that you want, like seriously, really, really big, what would it be? And then when they give me an answer, I say, cool, then what would you do? And after you got that, then what would you do? And then what would you do? And no, truthfully, if you were thinking really, really big, what would you do? And what comes out are these beautiful emotional responses, often very simple ones in the end, for how someone truly feels that they want to live their life. But we place all these other goals in the midterm between now and then. And so this just clarifies it for you. So what we're doing in this part of the process is to go, okay, here's what I want to create. Let's make this, I'm willing to make this happen in a way that is good for everyone. And let's just see what comes out, because I want to get out of my own way in this situation and just allow what comes out, what is for the greatest good of all, praying for what I need as opposed to what I want. Let's see what comes out. And so you can set a little intention to just let your creative mind flow, get in touch with your intuition and free write, and just see what comes out for what you can create this year. Now remember, we usually overestimate what could happen in a year. We usually underestimate significantly what can happen in 5. But when you understand the power of getting in touch with your intuition, of allowing yourself to be guided by yourself and by your heart, by trusting in life, and by connecting to that inner guide and inner force within you every single day, you will be surprised what you can manifest in a week, my friend. I'm not even kidding. We often have no idea how close we are to the life that we crave. So I invite you in this process to just open yourself up and think, you know what? I don't know how. I definitely don't know how. That's okay. I'm just going to start writing and let yourself be free. It's a really energizing and beautiful process. Now, once you're done, you've got how you want to feel and the things that you are inviting yourself to create. However, I want you to place this sacred document somewhere really special. Actually, there's something I forgot. If there is something that kind of scares you to write down, make sure you place it with a big circle around it. Sometimes the thing that you're not really sure that you want because it's quite scary and it might mean being a little bit vulnerable or putting yourself out there is actually the thing that is meant for you. So write it down. If it's not written down, it's not on this planet. Be brave. Now, once you're done, I want you to take this beautiful sacred piece of paper. It can be as messy or scrappy as you want. You can leave it like that or you can redo it later. And I want you to place it somewhere that you can see it all the time. Place it somewhere prominent. You don't have to read it all the time. It's already written, but just place it somewhere where you can review it later in the year and watch everything beautifully unfold for yourself. From me to you, thank you so much for watching. If you know someone who would love a beautiful ritual to take part in at the end of this year to bring in some amazingness next year, please pass on this video. If you're looking for extra support next year to make 2017 absolutely miraculous, please contact me. I am available to help you. And I'm wishing you a very, very wonderful new year and a wonderful 2017. I'm grateful for you being here. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next week. Bye.